So it's been about a year that I've owned the Roland TD-17 kit, and I've made some updates to it, and I wanted to give my thoughts over a year playing this instrument. In my last video about the TD-17, I discussed my first impressions because I had just gotten the kit, and there were some things I wished I got out of it, and I've learned to get used to it over the year, so I wanted to talk about those things in this video. Now, unfortunately, as much as I tried, I couldn't get a way to hook up my mics for the drums to my computer. I didn't have the cable to do it, so I can't really give a demo in this video, but I still want to showcase this because I got some stuff with it that I'd love to share. So if you're interested in that, make sure you hit the like on this video so we can share it with more people. My name is Jerry. I talk about drums, TV show reviews, YouTube reactions, and really whatever I want on this channel. So if you're down for that, make sure you check it out. I'd really appreciate it. So taking a look overhead, you have my new version of the setup. I kind of rearranged a couple things here. I have the hi-hats over here, of course. I have a crash on an actual cymbal stand. Then I have a new ride here. I forget the exact name of this. I'm going to put the link to it in the description. But it's a new ride with an actual bell trigger on it, which is fantastic. And then I have another crash on an actual cymbal stand here. And I made two floor toms out of what was the two rack toms up here. It's how I've always liked to arrange my drums when I had an acoustic setup, so I'm glad I was able to duplicate that here, and this is really comfortable for me. I have my actual TD-17 module over here, and I actually added a laptop stand over here so that when I'm practicing, I could play music straight through the computer, and I could connect my headphones, which are right over here, right into it. So I just pop my headphones on, and in goes everything into here. I have the sound mix, I have the drums, and it's really great. I've actually ended up straying away pretty much entirely from the amplifier that it came with just because I didn't see the need if I also had these, and I really like that decision. So now when I'm practicing in the house, all you hear is little things like this. It's really nothing crazy, and it's not that bad for the neighbors. There's no more amplifier to block anything, so it's pretty silent, honestly. And overall, I've honestly really liked this setup. I really feel like when I'm playing it, I feel like it's smooth like butter, just like how it was when I was playing the acoustic drums. Of course, the feeling when you're actually hitting the drums isn't the same, and honestly, I do miss the feeling of hitting real drums, but it's not the worst thing ever, and this is sufficing exactly as I expected it would compared to having an acoustic, so it's not the end of the world. Now, I gotta tell you, I wish I had these Roland cymbals on all of them instead of these half cymbals that I have up here. This ride with the actual bell trigger, it just actually hits like a real cymbal compared to these crappy ones. Now, of course, when I do hit them, they move a little bit. Both of them do because they're on cymbal stands especially. But if you take a look at this cymbal right here, it actually moves a lot more. It has a lot more wobble. I'm not sure if you could catch that up there, but it does have a lot more wobble than the other one did, and I really like that. So one day it would honestly be great to update this cymbal and this cymbal to those because they're really not that great. I really like the feeling of authenticity, and this is the closest you could get to it. And I gotta tell you, this cymbal sounds fantastic. It cuts in the mix very well, and it has the bell, like I mentioned, which was a complaint with these cymbals. I don't remember these names, of course, like I mentioned earlier. I don't remember this name either. I'll put the links to all those in the description. And by the way, if you do want to check out this kit, I am going to put an affiliate link in the description on Amazon. Clicking it and buying anything I show down there will help me out. I'm not asking, it's no additional cost to you, but it's there if you want it. But so far, it's not the end of the world that I have these cymbals instead of the actual bell cymbal like this. I just wish I had it would be a little bit more close to that real feeling. The only one that it really matters with is the hi-hat. So I currently have I think it's like an 8-inch pad right now that came with the kit as my hi-hat, and it's honestly terrible. If I have one complaint about this kit that's like an actual complaint, it's these hi-hats. They are pure junk. They do not trigger well at all. Unless I'm hitting in the very dead center of the actual pad, it is not triggering right. And I've actually had the exact same experience with these cymbals, but it's not as bad here. It's really noticeable with this pad in particular on the hi-hat. So yeah, the next thing I will be updating on this kit is for sure the hi-hats. I know Roland does have a better pad with an actual bell like this that's on an actual hi-hat stand. I don't know the name of it, again, link in the description, but I will be upgrading to that because this one that comes straight out of the box is just terrible. Now there is a version of the TD-17 that comes with that hi-hat, and I'm pretty sure it comes with the updated cymbals, and if I were you, I'd honestly get that over this exact model because I don't really like these cymbals that it comes with. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the cymbals that come default with this kit are not the strongest. The hi-hats are honestly terrible, and the actual cymbals they're sufficient, but they're not going to like wow me. So I really do want to update them eventually when I have the funds to do so, because these cymbal pads are not cheap and it's a pretty hefty investment to upgrade them. That's why having it as part of the kit when you buy it as a whole is probably the better route to go. But I gotta tell you, aside from those pads not being the strongest and this one being the best by far, I really do think otherwise that this kit has done a fantastic job holding up. The actual drums themselves, whether it be the snare or all the toms, they do a fantastic job, and I truly do love them. They have had pretty great quality. Other than a couple blemishes from my sticks, they haven't broke, bent, nothing. They've held up really well, and I've actually been able to tune them according to my liking as well. The best thing about these E-drums is if I wanted to, I could tune up the toms so that my response on the actual hitting of it would be a little bit more bouncy or a little bit more muddy, and I really like that they gave that option with these, because that's not something you see with every electric kit, and that was a big gripe I had with electric kits in the beginning of them. See, from spending over a decade playing an acoustic set, it was very important for me to have the most authentic feeling drum kit that I could when switching to electric. Now mind you, there are definitely more authentic options out there, like some of Roland's high-end drum kits are very much like a real kit even in look, but for the budget that I was in, this really did the job, and I'm very pleased with it. Now the last thing that I wanted to talk about in this video was if I miss acoustic drums or not, and the answer is somewhere in the middle. Obviously to me there's nothing better than an acoustic kit, and I find myself thinking about that from time to time, and honestly playing this kit sometimes as opposed to an acoustic kit really makes me feel uninspired, but it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because just when I have those feelings, I realize there's a lot with this module that I could do to make it sound, feel, or look however I want, and it expands my creativity, making me feel more inspired. Honestly, it depends on my mood. There are some days that I sit down and I'm like, oh, I really wish this was an acoustic kit, I do not want to be playing this, and there are some days that I'm like, hell yeah, I'm playing an electric kit. And that's been my experience over the span of this entire year. I love this setup, I really do, but it's not an acoustic kit. It just isn't. Acoustic kits are so important because you spend so much time, effort, and actual money into the exact cymbals you want, the exact drum heads you want, and the exact drums you want. You see, with an acoustic kit, equipment really matters. And even at its worst, even though this hi-hat pad sucks, it's still just a pad. It's gonna do the job when I hit it, if I hit it in the right spot with this pad, but it's going to do the job, and it's gonna outplay whatever sounds that my TD-17 module actually outputs. So there's really not much thought into buying them. It's like, oh, okay, this pad isn't the best, let me just get the slightly better pad. Whereas with cymbals, it's like, okay, what do I want? Meinl, Peisty, Zildjian, now I want an 18-inch or a 17. Do I want it heavy? Do I want it thin? You have a lot of choices to make, and your ears have to be put to work, because each acoustic drum kit is uniquely you, whereas here, this really isn't. And yeah, like I mentioned, you could get sound files that are different than the modules, but I feel like that's a little tedious. I don't have all the time in the world. I play drums casually in my spare time because I love the instrument, so I'm not going to spend so much time finding all these files, and if I am, then I'll save it for another day, but even then, it's still not original because you have to download file packs for them. Like a hand-hammered cymbal is uniquely yours. That's why there's programs like mycymbal.com where you could hear the exact cymbal you're going to buy. You'll never get that exact experience with an electric kit, and that's the unfortunate truth. But that That being said, these come damn close to the real deal, even if they don't feel identical, so to me, they are just as adequate. One day, I cannot wait to have an acoustic kit again, but until that day comes, I am more than content with this Roland TD-17 kit, and I don't have any plans to upgrade the actual drums themselves. I will update the cymbals eventually, but I'm gonna stick with this kit for some time because it really is that good, and I am okay with it in a townhome. So yeah, that's really all I have to say. It's been a year of playing, and it's been a great year playing this kit. Of course, there's some little complaints with the hi-hats and some of the cymbals, but for the most part, it has been a very pleasant experience, and I couldn't be happier with my decision to buy the TD-17. So again, if you're looking for an electric drum kit, I will have links right under the like button for all things TD-17 and all things Roland, so check those out. Again, they are affiliate links. I'm not asking you to buy them, but if you are in the market for it, go check them out, and I'd really appreciate you using my link. And that being said, I really appreciate you coming out to this video. If you liked it, make sure you hit the like button and check out my channel if you want to stay up to date with everything I post. With that out of the way, thank you so much for watching. Peace out.